Hello. So today I'm going to go over how to make this little mini octo. I found a free tutorial for this one on YouTube. I am going to show who the video was by and everything, which is by Crochet by Jenna, or Gina. I'm not sure, I apologize. But this is the video for that tutorial. For the original larger size if you want to do that one instead, but I am doing this little mini. So I am using Burnett velvet yarn. I do not know what shade color this is. A 5mm hook. I have my curved yarn needle, which I do prefer, scissors, stuffing, and some nice big 16mm eyes that I will be using for it. So it's a relatively quick project, about 15, maybe 20 minutes. We are going to start with the magic ring, and we're going to do 8 single crochets into that ring. So I will be back as soon as I have those 8. Okay, so I have those 8 stitches in my magic ring, and I'm just going to close that. And we are going to do 2 into each single crochet all the way around. So I can't see where I'm going. There we go. I apologize for the horrible quality of this video. This is my first time attempting to do this, and I'm just doing it on a phone since that is all I have with me. So we're going to do this the best way we can. I'll be back as soon as I have the 16 for this row. Okay, so I have those 16, and I'm going to slip into that first one and then chain up 1 and do 1 single crochet and 1 increase. I apologize for the destructive noise in the background. That is our kitten. He loves to destroy everything. So this row is just going to be 1 single crochet, 1 increase all the way around. So I will go finish that off camera and I'll be right back. Okay, so double count if you need to, but you should have a total of 24 stitches after that round. And then we're going to slip and chain 1. Now for the next 3 rounds, all we're going to do is single crochet. There are no more increase rows. So for the next 3 rounds, do 24 single crochet in each stitch. Do not do 24 single crochet in each and every stitch. Do 1 single crochet in the next 24 stitches for the next 3 rounds. And we'll meet back up after we have those 3 rounds finished. I'm getting off camera here. Okay, so I'll be right back after I have those 3 rounds finished. Okay, so now that we have finished those 3 rounds, we are going to slip into that first stitch and chain 1. And now we're going to do a decrease row. So we're going to do 1 single crochet, and then we're going to do an invisible decrease, which means we're going to grab this front loop and this front loop, yarn over, pull through both of those, and then do a single crochet as normal. And then we're going to repeat with 1 single crochet and then an invisible decrease, and then continue that all the way around until we're back down to 16 stitches. Okay, so now that we're back at the beginning of this we're not going to slip stitch into both parts like we normally do. We're going to slip into just that, if I can grab it. Okay, just into that front loop. So we're going to slip, and then we're going to slip stitch into that first one more time, and then into the front row or front stitch loop of the next stitch we're going to do 1 single crochet, 3 half double crochets, and 1 single crochet, all in that same stitch. And then we're going to slip stitch into the front loop of the next stitch, there we go, I had to pull it off camera to see it, and then into the front loop of the next stitch we are going to repeat and do a single crochet, 3 half double crochets, 2, 3, 1 more single crochet, and then slip stitch into the front loop of the next one, and we're going to repeat that all the way around, and that should give us 8 of these tentacles. So we'll be right back as soon as we have all of those. Okay, so now that we have that last one finished, what we're going to do is flip this over and into this first back loop, which is a little hard to see, but it should be right next to the little shell that we did. We are going to get into that back loop and slip stitch to join our final shell to that, and then we're going to chain 1, and we're going to put a single crochet in there, and I like to stop right there for a second so that I could put in my eyes. So I like to flip it over, see where my work is, and figure out that this is the center front. So let's pop you out, and we're going to go over here because I want my eyes off to these sides here. We're going to come to this side. I'm going to take one of my eyes, and we're going to go 1, 2, 3 rows up. So right there, and get him in there. So that's over that one, and then we're going to come over to this side and make sure he's in the same row. So it typically should be about 5 stitches apart. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So they should be in stitches 1 and 7 with 5 stitches in between. So I'm going to grab the backs so we can put the backs on the eyes. Okay. So we're going to do one more row before we stuff it. So let's put our tail back inside. And I'm going to redo that single crochet. It's a bit loose. So let me redo that first single crochet real quick. I need to fix that. Okay. So typically when decreasing in amigurumi, you would front loop only into 2, but that's a little hard to do with just these back loops. So I am going to do a traditional decrease, which is go through, pull up a loop, go through, pull up a loop, yarn over, and pull through all 3. And then do 1 single crochet and then a decrease. These back loop stitches can be a little bit difficult to get into, but do remember for this row and this row only to do a more traditional decrease, just because it is easier to do into those back loops. But we're going to do that all the way around on each back once we're done. Okay, so we got to the end of that, and on this we do end in a single crochet, not a decrease. Now we're just going to slip stitch into that first single crochet that we did, chain 1, and then draw up a loop because we're going to stuff it now. So grab our stuffing. Now I do like to separate mine once it's in there and pull it all to the sides. I just try to maneuver that in everywhere as best as I can and really stretch out the stuffing in there so that you can make sure it gets into all the little nooks and crevices, and really make sure to go up right here where we did in that decrease so it pops that out. And then just stuff it until it's nice and firm, about that thickness. It still has a little bit of squish to it, but it's also still nice and firm to it. So we'll be back as soon as we have it all nice and stuffed. Okay, so now that he's all nicely stuffed and situated, we are going to crochet our final row. So let me get this hook back in here. Alright, so if you're the type that likes to do decreases all the way around, go for that. I prefer to just do single crochet, decrease, single crochet, decrease, because I feel that doesn't make it tighten up as much, which causes gaps and holes. At least I feel like it does. So that's a personal preference on this row, but I do single crochet and then decrease. If I could see what I was doing, I would. There we go. So yeah, we'll just do that all the way around for this row, and then we'll be right back. Okay, so we're back. I, at the end of mine, do end up having 2 single crochets after that final decrease that I do right there. You can just decrease those 2 final stitches together if you wish, but we are now just going to slip into that and cut off a decent tail length, about right there, and pull that through. Just tighten that up a little. Alright, so now let me go grab my yarn needle and we will commence the next and final part of this. So I like to go from the outside inwards and grab just this front loop here and do that all the way around. Oh, just that front one. There we go. Okay, so now that we've gone through all of those, we're going to go right through the center here. We're going to come out at the top. Then we're going to pull until that tightens. I like to press my thumb in there. Just pull. Now we're going to go down into this next stitch. Don't pull that part too tight. Don't want to mess up the look of the crochet. And just weave that in and out. Oh, losing my voice there. Just weave that in and out a few times in different directions. And then we're going to cut that off. Okay. And there we have our little mini octo with these great big eyes. You could do smaller eyes. You don't need to do 16 millimeter eyes. It was the size I had, either that or 10 millimeters, and the 10 were a bit too small. And I do like this. It gives it a more chibi look. So let me situate his head. He's looking a little woppy here. So just round him about. Okay, so there's a little mini octo all done. With the size that he is, you could put a keyring through here and make him a little keychain, because he's small enough for that. But yep, that's all. I do again apologize for the poor quality of this video and everything. It's just filmed on my phone and I have no editing software, so this is what we can do with what we got. And I won't typically be doing tutorials. I'm mostly going to focus on events that I'm doing and items I have made for those events. He was just a cute little pattern that I did and wanted to share with you all. So figured I would. Have a nice evening. I'll see y'all next time. Bye.